In this video, you'll learn Power BI from beginning to end so you can confidently start using it. Even if you've never opened Power BI before, this tutorial walks you step by step through everything essential with clear visual demonstrations. Links to sample data are provided in the description so you can practice after watching. To practice, you will need access to Power BI. If you do not already have access, you can install Power BI Desktop for free. Just search for Download Microsoft Power BI Desktop and open Microsoft's official download page. Then click Download. Once installed, open it from your desktop shortcut or by searching Power BI in your taskbar. When it opens, you will see the landing page with an option to start from scratch. Disregard the other options. They are irrelevant when you first learn Power BI because they are asking you to do something you are about to learn. So, click Blank Report to start from scratch. That opens the Power BI desktop interface. It looks similar to other Microsoft applications. At the top is the ribbon with different tabs. On the left are navigation buttons, such as Report View, Table View, and Model View, which are all currently blank, and you will learn them all once we import data in a minute. By default, it opens in Report View, currently showing a blank canvas. The boxes in the center here are simply suggested data sources, but we will connect to data sources using the standard method from the ribbon. On the right, you will see three main panes: filters, visualizations, and data. You'll see how they work once we connect to and import data, which is always the first step in Power BI. Once data is imported, you can refresh it anytime with a single click to keep it synced with the source, whether the source is Excel, accounting systems, HR databases, and so on. To connect to data, go to the Home tab and expand Get Data. Then choose a data connector. If you click on the More button here, you will notice there are hundreds available, most of which are niche or third-party paid services. Chances are most users only care about and use no more than 2 to 5 data source connectors. For this tutorial, we are connecting to data from the web. So, select the Web connector and in the dialog box, paste a URL or a web address for the data. This web address is also provided in the description, so you can practice with it later. Then, click OK. A navigator window opens, showing available tables from that source. Select the Sales Transactions table here to preview it. To cover the complete Power BI essentials in this video, we are working with this sales data, which is just a table of sales transactions with different columns like customer ID, transaction date, which is the date of sale, product sold, quantity sold, unit price, and sales amount. We will do the same steps to import 2 additional tables for customers and salespeople, so you learn how you can connect tables to each other in Power BI. But first, let's continue processing this sales transaction table. This window is just a preview that lets you either load the data directly to Power BI or transform it first. Transform means clean and prepare the table for use. Transforming is always recommended unless you are sure that your table is already clean in the source. Even if that is the case, choose Transform. So, click Transform Data to open the table in Power Query. Power Query is a built-in data transformation tool which you use to clean and prepare data before loading it into Power BI. For example, the header row of the table here is misplaced. It is supposed to be in the top header line. You can remove extra rows from top using the Remove Rows button in the ribbon. Then, provide number of rows to remove from top and hit OK. Now the headers move to the first row. To move them up to the header line, click on the Use First Row as Headers button in the ribbon. Just like that. Now, one of the most important steps in Power Query is verifying data types. Each column has an icon, indicating whether the data in the column is text, number, date, and so on. If you see a column, for example, with a text icon, but the values in the column are number values, you can correct the data type by clicking the data type icon in the column and choosing the correct data type. Also, you may not need all the columns imported. You can remove any unnecessary columns using the Choose Columns button in the ribbon to keep your data model clean and efficient. Every action you take in Power Query is recorded in the Applied Steps pane. If something goes wrong, you can simply remove the corresponding step to undo the mistake. The formulas you see in the formula bar are automatically generated by Power Query for each step you do. You don't need to write or read them. You can do everything in Power Query with just the tools and the ribbon, or by right-clicking on any column to see a menu of actions specific to the column you selected. You will find some actions, such as Add Column from Examples, Replace Values, and Fill Down, very useful and very easy to use. But if you are interested in learning Power Query formulas, also called mashup or M-code, that is coming up soon in a separate video. Once satisfied with how your table looks, click the Close and Apply button in the ribbon. That loads the clean table into Power BI. Notice, the table is added to the data pane here in the right. You can return to Power Query anytime by clicking on the Transform button in the ribbon. If you want to connect to and import more data, just follow the same steps. I am connecting and importing two other tables in the exact same way. And here are the two tables just imported: customers and salespeople. Now, all the data we need is loaded into the model. A model is simply a collection of related tables. If you want to see the contents of the tables, go to the Table view in the navigation bar on the left. To open and see a table, select it from the data pane on the right. The Customers table is just a list of customers with customer ID, customer name, address, and other information about each customer. One customer appears only once here in the Customers table. The Salespeople table is similar to the Customers table. It has columns like Employee ID, name, and email for each salesperson. The Sales Transactions table represents the core data. That is, it answers questions like when, how much, who, and what, related to sales of products. Each row represents a single transaction. That is, a sale of a product. Some columns are references to other tables. For example, the Customer ID column here indicates which customer purchased a product. But the full information about the customer, including the name of the customer, is stored in the Customers table. However, the two tables do not talk to each other until we create a relationship between them. To create a relationship between tables, switch to Model View. Here, you see tables showing only their column names. To create a relationship between the Customers and the Sales Transactions tables, drag Customer ID from the Customers table to the matching ID in the Sales Transactions table. That opens a relationship window to view and, if necessary, edit the relationship. Power BI detects a one-to-many relationship here. That means one customer can have many transactions. Because one customer can buy products multiple times, creating multiple transactions. But one transaction cannot be made by many customers. The default cross-filter direction is single, meaning that data from the Customers table filters data in the Sales Transactions table, which you will see when we design the reports in a minute. Also, ensure the relationship is active. Then save the relationship. Repeat the same logic to create a relationship between the Salespeople table and the Sales Transactions table, but this time using the Employee ID instead of the Customer ID. Here is the model with all the relationships created. Now with relationships in place, the tables can interact with each other, as you are about to see. So let's now move to the next step, which is building an interactive Power BI report. So switch to Report View. Currently, the Report View has one page, which is created by default, and it is currently blank. You can name this page anything, like Customers, so we can use it for customer analytics. You can add more pages by clicking on the New Page button here. Let's name this Salespeople. Go back to the Customers page and start displaying some visual analytics. Click this stacked bar chart visual from the Visuals pane. That inserts a blank chart visual in the canvas. You can move it and resize it. With the visual selected, you can drag and drop any field from the tables. Let's say we want to visualize the location of customers and see where top customers are coming from. Drag Customer City State from the Customers table to the y-axis field here, and the sales amount from the sales transactions table to the x-axis field. For the legend, drag the product category to the legend field to break down sales by product type. Now the chart shows what city most of your sales are coming from, broken down by product type. You can display actual amounts on each segment of the bars or simply point to any segment to see actual amounts and other details. Let's add some more visuals to see customers' behavior from different angles. Here, I am inserting the line chart, the pie chart, and the card visuals. The method to insert fields to the visuals is the same. So, I am speeding it up to save time for next steps. Now, unlike the bar chart, we use the line chart to show changes in sales over time, also broken down by product type. The pie chart shows a breakdown of sales by type of customer. The card visual here shows total quantity and amount of sales for each product type. These are just certain ways to display the data. You have complete flexibility on what to show. Another common and especially useful visual is Slicer. That filters all other visuals to show selected information. Let's insert one and see how that works. There are different styles of slicers. Choose one and position it in the canvas. Then, like any other visual, drag a field from one of the tables. I am adding the customer type from the customer table. You can customize its format and functionality in the Format tab of Visualizations. Now, when you select one or more customer types in the slicer, all visuals on the page respond to show information related to your selections. Now, a rule of thumb is that you should not insert more than 5 or 6 visuals per page so that your visuals stay neat and organized. And keep in mind that everything is customizable, giving you complete freedom to make pages and visuals look however you want. So, you can change color, size, shape, font, position of any visual. Or, you can always apply a theme template from under the View tab in the ribbon. You can also upload and apply your own Canvas background image. Great! I will leave the Salespeople page to practice on your own. Remember, the links to the data you need for the practice are in the description. While you are in Power BI Desktop, at any time, clicking on the Refresh button on the ribbon updates all the data and visuals to sync with your data source. Finally, save your work on your computer. The next step is to publish your work to Power BI service, especially if you want to share your interactive report to others in your company and also use automatic refresh features. To do that, click on the Publish button in the ribbon. That will open a dialog box with options to choose a workspace. A workspace in Power BI service is just a virtual space to store, organize, and share your models and reports. If you are using the free version of Power BI, you have just one workspace called My Workspace. Select the one you want to publish into and hit Select. Once you see the success notification, you can go to Power BI service by clicking on the link provided on the notification. Or you can go to powerbi.com and sign in to see and manage your work on the web. Once signed in, go to the workspace you chose. Open the report page by clicking on the report name. The pages you created in Power BI Desktop are shown as a sidebar menu here in Power BI Service. You can then share the reports to folks in your organization and set up a refresh schedule so that it automatically refreshes the reports to sync with the data source every day or whatever frequency you choose. You can also create a dashboard page where you show selected important visuals you choose from different pages. To create a dashboard and add visuals to the dashboard, click on the pin icon on the visual you want to show on the dashboard. Then, create a new dashboard or choose an existing one. All right, you just learned the complete workflow of Power BI, from connecting and preparing data to modeling relationships and building interactive reports. The next level to advance your Power BI skills is to learn DAX functions, which is also coming up soon here on this channel. Make sure you subscribe so you get notified once that is published. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.